Hi everybody, welcome back to Founder Freedom TV with your host, Rachel Wynot, your business and marketing success coach. So in today's episode, we are talking all about personal branding, and I'm going to teach you how to build your online personal brand. Hi everybody, welcome back to Founder Freedom TV. So in today's episode, we're talking all about personal branding. All right guys, this is really important to building your business in general, but absolutely important in building your business online, okay? People buy people, not products, not services, okay? It's all about building that connection. That, what I call it, that know, like, and trust. If you've watched other episodes, then you'll be familiar with that know, like, and trust. You have to build that connection, especially online when you're targeting that audience that you want to work with, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go through the top 5 ways how to build your own online personal brand, and these are crucial to having a successful business online, okay? So number 1, we have story. All right, so when people think of personal branding, what's the first thing that comes to mind? I mean, when I first started, I thought, a picture, right? Like a photo of me as, my headshot as a personal brand. Yes, of course, that's important, guys. But the most important thing, and that's why I put it as number 1 today, is your story, okay? It's all about building that connection. That's the secret of marketing, okay? When you're building your personal brand online, you have to build that connection with your audience and talk about your story. The more vulnerable you are, really vulnerable and being real, like a real human being, the more you're gonna connect with your audience and the more you're going to, obviously build followers, build email subscribers, and eventually, of course, build customers, okay, guys? So story, and the key thing about your story, yes, of course, telling, your real stories are important, but try to connect it to your audience, right? So if you're a fitness coach, as an example, talk about your story. And if you have a story of going from, being overweight to losing X amount of pounds or something like that, tell your story and show proof of that as well. Show before and after photos. Great way to promote exactly how you can help people, right? If it's not you and your personal story, then talk about maybe a client or a friend or somebody that you helped, right? Get to, the before and the after. That's really important when you're talking about stories, is talking about your backstory, where you came from, and then, that epiphany moment, that's what we talk about, that changed everything for you, and then where you are today. That's kind of the story outline that I like to give with my clients, okay? So story, number 1. Number 2, credibility. Okay, this is big. And this, this goes with story, absolutely. Like, as I mentioned before, if you're talking about your story, your before and after story, that's gonna give you credibility, right? Because it's a real story. And again, if you show proof of this, if you show photos and videos saying, look at me before, this is me before, and here's me after, whether it's whatever niche you're in, relate that story to that niche, essentially, okay? And credibility is huge. People want to make sure that you're being truthful, you're being real, right? So showing that proof is huge, okay? I can't stress that enough. It's all about, especially online, guys, you have to show proof. Social proof, okay? If you help people make money, show the proof of you making people money or you making your own money, right? If you help people lose weight, show the proof of you helping people lose weight before and after, something like that, right? Another big thing with credibility is try to, get some experts on with you, or show some, get featured in some magazines or whatnot. Show that you're kind of a credible figure, if you will, okay? And I'm gonna go into a little bit more of that a little bit later on, but credibility is huge, guys. So, and the main thing is just being truthful and just being real. Showing that social proof, being credible, being a real human with real results. That's what it's all about. Especially with online, a lot of people think that people are fake, right? So you have to prove that to people, that you're not fake, that you're real, you get real results, etc. And that's what's gonna help you sell online and build your personal brand. All right, so number 3, we have social media, photo, video. Okay, so with building that personal brand online, If you watch some other episodes, I talk about my 80-20 rule. And this is huge, okay? Especially with personal branding online. Any platform that you are on, whether it's any social media platform, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, whatever it is, guys, it's all about showcasing you as a figure, as a credible figure with your story. These all go together nicely, right? With photos and videos. I can't stress enough, video. Video is huge. 2019 and beyond, guys, it's all about video, okay? But back to my 80-20 rule. So 80-20 rule, 80% I recommend of your content that you're putting out there and building that credible personal brand, 80% of that content should be related to your brand and your niche and what you are an expert in, okay? 80% should be related to that somehow. Maybe it's a photo, a video, giving tips and tricks or whatever that is, okay? 20%, I always recommend, this is really, really important, is to talk about some personal aspects, okay? And that, again, that goes back to your story, right? But talking about personal aspects, right? So like as an example, on my Instagram, I'll show, me and my husband out for dinner or, just our daily lifestyle type thing, because that builds connection with your audience. People want to know that you're a real person, that you're not just this figure online that just talks about one topic. You are a real person, you have a real life, you maybe have kids or family, maybe you like to go running, what do you do for fun? You like reading books, whatever that personal connection is, you wanna be able to showcase that. But again, 20% is kind of my go-to rule with that. You don't want to overdo it, of course, but you do want to build that personal connection. Like I said before, it's all about the know, like, and trust, okay? Building that personal connections is going to help you build that know, like, and trust factor. Okay, so number 4, we have website and webinar. Okay, so of course, when you're building your online personal brand, I recommend having some sort of landing page or website. Website, or we call it funnels. There's different terms on what we can call websites. And if you look at my other episodes, I go really deep into funnel building your online sales funnels, etc. But essentially that's another form of a website, okay? So some sort of website basically is a landing page of some sort. Who you are, what you do, make sure that messaging is really, really clear on your website. And one aspect that I believe every single entrepreneur needs to have now in this day and age is a webinar, okay? If you don't know what a webinar is, go back. There's another episode on the perfect webinar that I teach you how to create one. Watch that after this one. But a webinar is essentially a way to build that personal connection even deeper, okay? So if you don't know what a webinar is, really Cole's notes on it really quickly. Essentially, it's some sort of presentation that you can build that know, like, and trust with your audience. Talk about your story, who you are, what you do, maybe some social proof, bring in testimonials. It's really just a presentation of what you do, how you help people, and what your business is all about, okay? And also on that webinar, which is the most important part of this webinar, is giving value, okay? You don't want to obviously just talk about me. Of course, your audience wants to know about you, but big thing about the webinar is to build that you're gonna build that credibility as well on that webinar, right? So you want to really build that credibility by giving value, showing proof that you're an expert, teaching people what you're about. How can you help them? Giving them actual tips and tricks, and we call it secrets, right? So really, that webinar is going to be huge. And the cool thing about it is you just have to shoot it once and you can have it automated for you as well. Again, if you watch back to my other training on the perfect webinar, I'm going to teach you a little bit further. And there's links below this episode and other episodes where you can watch my masterclass, which is my webinar, and you can learn and see how I do it as well. Also, I'm going to give some really good tips on that masterclass, so check it out. Links below. All right, so number 5, we have features. Okay, so this is a little bit, as you've started to establish some of this, your story, your credibility, your social media with photos and videos showing your social proof and what you do, right? And maybe, having a website and building that webinar. After you're starting to really build that personal brand online, I would recommend trying to get some kind of features, okay? Essentially that means you could get a feature article, you could get a feature interview, even just a feature on somebody's podcast. a feature on somebody's YouTube channel, stuff like that, guys. It's really, really easy nowadays. You can go on social media, you can reach out to people that are in your niche. Mainly look for people that are targeting the same audience that you are. That's the key with features, okay? You wanna obviously if you're talking about health and wellness, you don't wanna go to a business channel, right? Just wanna make sure that you're targeting the same niche, okay? That's really important. And just reach out to them. Honestly, reach out, say, here's my website, here's my social media, check me out. I would love to do a free, interview or something. And always with features, try to give something in return, okay? Asking and whatnot, yes, maybe you'll get a couple, but if you can give something value in return, help them out some way, even saying if you have a podcast or something, I would say, hey, I'd love to feature you on my podcast and then I could go on your podcast. So it's kind of a value relationship, which is huge, okay? And will help you get more features. But that's essentially gonna get you more credibility as well. See how all of these things work together to building your online personal brand. And this is huge, okay? So guys, if you have any other questions, comment below right now. Don't hesitate. I am watching comments consistently and I'm going to answer them as soon as possible. Also, I have links below. I have freebies. I have magnetic brand messaging formula. I have my free training, video series training. I have my masterclass. So jump right in, guys. I have so much free stuff for you. I can't wait to teach you all about it. And I'll see you on the next episode. Talk to you soon.